What a fantastic start that was for Gentlemates against Team Vitality on Icebox. I'm your host, Yinsu, and I'm back here once again with Kaquka, joined by Mitchman. Now, you don't have much luck with Enzo, but it seems like you are a real good luck charm to Logan over here.
It feels like it. It feels like it. Every time I'm in the building, I see the guy win, and I see the first guy lose. It's unbelievable. I can't cast Enzo, but I can be on the desk for Logan, and the guy looked pretty good today. I mean, just another day at the office, I guess.
I mean, I think it was not only him, the way that they actually managed to bring it back, you know, play into their strengths, but also reading into what Vitality was doing was very, very nice to see from them.
I mean, Kaquka, now we can understand why they changed that comp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, not only that, we've gone from a team that either ran that super vanilla comp or plays a double duelist to play a duelist-less map, and the way that they were doing it was by looking for every single initial duo from the defense, right? You do not have the jet, you do not have a way to deny that trade, but it didn't matter for them. Natank on the wing, excuse me, have you heard of Natank on the wall? That was unreal
there it
watch. Perfect timing, thank you, production. But I think that we can see the spirit of any of the players. We saw Natank, even though he was on the stage, he could not care less. He's a duelist at heart, and I think that changing the composition adapts them to the times that we're seeing today, and to a certain extent, came as a surprise for Vitality.
And the beautiful thing about it, just to piggyback off that, Natank is leading stats, bar Woot. Woot kind of ruined that, but let's say people that have played more than 2 series, he's dominating stats for ADR, for ACS, for absolutely everything all season long. This guy is playing unbelievable, so it's no surprise to see him still deliver that kind of performance here.
And this is the thing, they refused to change the Gecko to the Gecko this entire time. And Mitch, they finally did it. Did you think that was a good decision? I
think so. I think generally it's a pretty good decision. Works a lot better for them as well, having the utility to actually get into a position to plant versus like what Vitality were running here. I feel like there's a lot of problems for them. Something I was talking to Ulysses about backstage during this game, that they just can't get into the site. They're using all the utility to get in, and then they have nowhere to go afterwards. Left open in duels, and that's where Gentlemates dominate every time from what we've seen.
And even with that, like, the pressure was not there. We even saw some post-pass situations where you could see the Gentlemates had the upper hand time after time.
And this is the thing, Benji was telling us, if you want to have a chance against Team Vitality, you gotta shut down Safe. And here he is, Safe, that is, in the AIM Labs warm-up. I mean, they were shutting him down, but the thing with Safe is Kaquka. He never really has a bad series. He could maybe not win the map, but we just know that he's probably going to come out swinging on the next one.
Yeah, hear me out. I think that Vitality is going to come in super prepared for that second map, for that Sunset. If we think about it, and the last time that they faced against each other, they played this map twice in the 2 encounters that they had, but the last one was a 13-3. Although Gentlemates ever since changed the composition. I think that they're proving that they're very good on adapting from week to week, understanding why some things are not working and what can they do to change them.
Yeah, it was weird for me at the start seeing their Sunset comp, seeing Logan move off a Cypher isn't something that I expected to see. The guy is in my brain etched as one of the best Sentinels we have in the league for various reasons. Some happy, some not so much. But the reality is, they're all happy. We love good Valorant. The reality, his Sheriff is pretty good on any agent. But the reality is, this is a team that's shown that they're willing to change things up, even on individual comfort levels. And I think that's essential to stay ahead in a league like this. Add to that what they did well here that other teams haven't been able to do was shut down Vitality and Pistols. In all their close games, like up against Foot, for example, they're coming out barely by a handful of rounds. And then you look back and you see in the first 6 rounds, they found 5 of the rounds in most halves that they've played so far. So when they get off to that slower start, we haven't had to see them bounce back that much.
I absolutely love that you bring up Foot, because actually in their match, they managed to bring it back, to go into map 2, forgetting what had happened on that map 1, even though there was Ascent and should have been pretty, like, bland, it wasn't. I think that Foot came up with so many ideas, and Vitality were just not ready, which is literally what is happening right now. So for Sunset, a map that they knew was one of the pivotal chances, especially after they banned the Ascent, they have to be prepared, and it has not to do with the composition or anything else.
Yeah. Well, we saw in the AIM Lab shoot-around, we were looking at Safe, and he's who I'm super excited about coming into this. I'm a sucker for a good Viper player, right? You talk about Liquid, it's not just Enzo. Mystic back in the day.
I thought it was just the Odin.
He caught my eye. Hey, the Odin definitely does its work for me, but reality is his Viper is scary, and coming into Sunset, that's something they're going to have to lean on this side if they are able to beat stats leaders like Natank in a series where they're already on fire.
I mean, this is the thing, Vitality, they have to win. They have to bring it back. We were talking about it this morning. They're one of the few teams that have had their own fate in their own hands. If they just win their remaining games, which on paper doesn't look extremely difficult for them, they will lock themselves into playoffs. And if they lose here today, Kaquka, that changes everything for them.
Yeah, of course. And also, you know, having Trex coming in, I think that there is a lot into their minds. Not only that, they have to play twice this week. And starting off with a loss is something that no team wants to face.
Yeah, exactly. For Gentlemates, though, I feel like the pressure was off them a little bit. I think Pavlos is even mentioning they are the underdogs coming into this. I'm interested to see what they're going to have here on Sunset. Do they make another change? What do you guys make of this?
Okay, so Takas is going to be moved onto... Okay, so they bring in the Sage. Okay, Natank is just feeling very, very
He's on the wall, like you said.
He's on the wall. Natank on the wall, hear me out. And Takas is going to be moved on to that race that Natank was playing previously. I mean, there is no Gecko, but I can see the ways of this working. I think that the usage of the Sage wall, especially on the defense, should give Whalers a little bit of more room to move around the map.
I have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed, though, because I was expecting to see Takas on the Neon, where he has just been flawless in terms of opening duels. They're very good at setting him up. Someone like Bay has his flashes consistently hitting. And you're playing against Vitality, who don't typically run a Cypher, so you're not worried about those traps. But no, we won't see the Neon here today. Let's see if the Rays can live up to it, though.
I can't wait to see it indeed. Vitality, they have to win here. Pavlos and Tom, the pressure is on.
You're making that rhyme there, but yeah, there was nothing poetic about Vitality's performance the previous map. They really have to amp it up. They really have to show up on the second map, Sunset, where they have had historical success against Gentlemates, but that was against a different composition.
Yeah, the fact that they picked into this map, I think, clearly shows that they're feeling confident that they're going to be able to upset a team that have been able to basically beat them on this map 33-13-10. So I think that obviously it's a different time, changes completely in their composition, and their last one was very reliant about like set plays, and this one can be, I feel, a little bit more free-flowing. I also think it's disruptive. That's what the Sage does. That's what Foot have done very well with the Sage on other maps as well, is just making things awkward.
Well, let's see if they're able to make it awkward yet again, but this time on the defensive side. Quick push coming out from Takas. Lovely flash coming through from Bayaz, allowing 2 quick kills, and Gentlemates already on pole position for this round.
Bayaz, someone who I think has very underrated supportive utility. His breach on this map in the past was fantastic as well, but again, the pot flashes, this man is selfless when it comes to a lot of the fights. And, well, you can already see how this one, again, it's just going to be a blink and you miss it. Gentlemates have won this round and very clean indeed.
Wait, I blinked. What happened? Oh, right. Gentlemates won. Everyone died.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Very quick, very explosive, and I don't know, what adaptations are we looking to see here from Vitality, because the last one, they started to get a little bit nervous, a little bit uncomfortable with their positioning, they made mistakes. I don't know, how do we expect them to fix that up here on the second map?
They've always been pretty comfortable on this one. I think a lot of what they do well is those sort of slow default rounds. We saw it quite a bit during kickoff, obviously slightly different in terms of their personnel, but the idea behind it is not going to be too different. Happy to sort of play the map and just sort of work off the picks that they can get. And that's the thing. And Gentlemates are a team that like their set plays. We've seen it in the pistol round, like those combination of flashes. This one, can't really expect much.
Yeah, there's a crossfire setup here. Well, they are able to lock out Natank from this round.
Not 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, if anybody has watched the previous map, they know what happened in the second round. Conversion from Vitality. But this time around, Bayas has got a response to it, and all of the Vitality players moving in together, they're walking into a Cypher setup.
A little bit wary of mid, so because of that, we're not really going to see Whalers paying a massive amount of attention. Normally, of course, we're looking at Logan playing that Sentinel role, but I guess just wanting to have a little bit more maneuverability, put him into more aggressive positions, which you can do with that Omen. The fact is, though, Vitality have got themselves in an afterplan. Doesn't look like they're stopping there, and
Takas does Takas things.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Again, we've talked about the multi-frags. This one may be the least impressive of the lot, just because it's up against the full eco, but they did need someone to pick up those kills.
And I'm going to be honest, Takas at the start of the season didn't quite show up at the level many expected him, right? Think about his run from Ascension, from the Challenger Leagues, getting into VCT EMEA. He has been a star, but he's flown under the radar if you compare them in the likes of other duelists playing up, you know, other performers in this league. And today he seems to be doing pretty well, already getting his stats padded up from this round. But I'm also considering the previous map, right, where he had a lot of those opening kills, a lot of those conversions were down to him.
Yeah, I think also it might just be down to keeping things a little bit more simple. Like, a lot of the compositions that Gentlemates like to run, as I said, like the initial comp they ran on this map, it revolved around a Raze Yoru Breach combination where they try and set up stuns across the map to sort of put these players into play. I think today we're seeing them go to more meta comps, and that will be more exciting for me if anything. Not the comps themselves are more explosive when you watch them the other way around, but it's more so I want to see if Gentlemates can do it. Because if they can play the meta and then have those explosive comps, that makes a great team rather than one that can cause an upset here and there.
Yeah, for too long maybe they have looked past the flexibility these compositions provide. And now may feel a little bit more comfortable to be free-flowing, right? That's where they thrive most, being able to switch things up all the time. Orb will be collected for free from the tank. Get that res a little bit sooner. Attackers is pretty close to a showstopper. Only one orb away.
And they're not really pushing and probing around the map too much. Potentially just looking to play more of a retake. That aggressive wall can, again, just be an irritation. It gives free information. Also, the slows more than anything. It just disjoints a lot of what you're going to have. Of course, the timing here is going to be everything, but that slow, again, it's just going to be annoying. It allows already the rotation to fully begin. You can see across the map, already making their way back towards this A site.
And the fact that Vitality are tiptoeing their way into this A site, it's going to take a while for those to come into fruition. The tank, Quake on the opener. And even if he's blinded, he still finds impact. And Gentlemates have got all of the cavalry arriving just in time. The smoke is a little bit too deep, and Whalers is able to surpass it, no problem at all. Still, though, Vitality finding some answers, running out of time. The Wingman is sent to put the spike down. Whalers and Logan are there to secure the dub. Vitality are really not allowed any round wins today.
No, and then again, it's just the explosive individual plays that drag them through. Huge round coming out of Whalers to sort of just break this apart. The thing is that the counter flash, I believe, in that early fight that came out of Bears actually saved him, I think, because he could see the player flashed rather than just being completely blind, but also his opponent can't see anything. So again, just solid counter utility from Bears, a silent hero, while Whalers might be the, I guess, the loud and proud hero.
Very true. Well, someone else that has got to be proud this round is Existence. I mean, looking at his team start to shake up a little bit better than they have last time. Or last kickoff, I would say. Any other of the other times we've seen Gentlemates play this year,
well,
to be fair.
I'll be honest with you, I came up here earlier during the first game.
Yeah.
He was having a little nap. I'm going to assume he had a really long night working counter, because this is the thing, like, people who don't know him from CS, don't know him from previous games, this guy was a mastermind and is a mastermind, not only in just setting up his own team, but also in finding counters for his opponents. So I think that's where you kind of look at Vitality now and go, okay, is this a coach battle?
It could be. Run up first blood here. But you're right, Salah must have grown up looking up to coaches like Existence, right? He's definitely been around for a while. But this is Gentlemates restoring what should already be the status quo. Superiority in this round. It is, after all, rifles against the pistols. But yeah, I believe Salah is still the youngest coach in VCT EMEA right now. 23, 24 years old, something like that. And Existence, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
I was watching him before I got into esports, so that's all you really need to know. There we
Got
go.
nothing to say. Nothing to add to that.
Paranoia. It's going to get them in. That's the main thing. Get into the after plant. A trip doesn't look like it's been broken, though, so falling back might actually be a bigger problem. But with the weapons they have, you expect aggression. Safe, sender.
Wow.
Okay, this just got interesting.
It became doable, that's what happened. And that tank in the smoke is not able to find the pieces. Bayaz has to save it. The IGL of Gentlemates looking to save the day! Sender, having the backline covered, allows Vitality collect the Thrifty.
That was so close to him pulling off another absurd round to give Gentlemates another victory that they probably shouldn't have had. But hey, it's the pistols, those sheriffs. You know that your opponents want to fight against you. Logan may be a little bit overzealous, but it looked like they corrected the round. But I like the adaptation from Vitality. You don't have the weaponry to hold. You just don't have it. You don't have the utility. So you have to try and get aggressive, proactive, and that's exactly what they did.
I love seeing Safe trying to hype up his players. He's been doing that a lot this season. He's changed completely in approach, kind of getting a leadership role in there. Fatherly approach, I'd say. But is it enough to put Vitality in? There are guns to work here with Gentlemates, and they've got a trap.
Don't lose to a Bucky, please.
Well, it's in a tank. Tank on the wing, and he will succeed with the first kill. Whaler's there to back it up. Replenish yourself with some health.
Still there.
And he's still alive, kicking, breathing, and may want to go for another fight.
Okay, I like it. Kicks from above, showstopper put in, rifle collected as well. Taka's going to be able to fall out of there without too much damage, and Logan's waiting as well to try and lock them in. The thing is, if he goes down here, this round is back on.
That was a bar fight. But now they've got to take a breath. Fresh air, Logan on the look! A double kill and round secured for Gentlemates.
He couldn't have timed that any better if he tried. Just peeks in as both players end up lining up, and I'm not happy that this worked. Obviously, he was just there for bait, but the fact that Tank manages to survive there for such a ridiculously long time, and you can immediately see the response from Vitality. You just lost a round that was based around a Bucky.
Just gonna let that sink in for a little bit.
Yeah, it's not something I've said so far this season.
No, I'm just talking about the situation right now, right? It's not looking great. And Safe right back with his mouth to the mic.
Yeah, this is one of those scenarios as well where you kind of wonder how much is going to be put into play here for the side of Vitality, because you've got to send it with a little bit of extra cash. Maybe they try a hero rifle, because they do have themselves some pretty solid ultimates. Showstopper 2 away, Viper's Pit 1 away, and then everything else is online already. So even though the weaponry is not going to be ideal for a round like this, the ults are so good that you might want to try and gamble it and get yourself back in the game.
The thing is, it's not really the time to get back into the game, given how deep into their pockets they need to run in for this one, but they're not. Going to hold it out for the next one, but you're right. Ultimates are there. If an opportunity is presented to them, there may be a chance that they can take it back. But with that, there's a prerequisite, right? A kill or two. Can Runner be the person to bring that to them?
Yeah, he's using that extra cash in the exact way I'd like to see it. Give him an opportunity. Is actually pushing this. He's got the one way to sort of give him a little bit of extra space. He also has backup from Bayaz. He's going to know that Safe is on the other side. Can Safe hit another wonder shot? No, he can't. That's going to be the opener they were looking for again.
And right off the angle, Gentlemates really good with finding these off positionings. And not only on these eco rounds, not only on these pushes, it's always, every single round they're able to get into positions that Vitality would never have expected. And these advantages just keep on mounting up. Potentially looking at a 5-1 here as they walk directly into Takas's territory. Not affected by the Dizzy, but the spray down is damn damaging. And may want to stick around for more. Runner does have the rifle and eventually puts it to use, but Gentlemates are already reacting to this.
Yeah, they got the information off the back of the knife. Got to be a little bit careful, though. These solo fights, when rifles have now been retrieved, definitely makes this round a little bit more dangerous. The cavalry is slowly arriving, though.
It really has, but Vitality have taken so long to push through. They don't have a chance to be winning out on these trades. They're playing off of disadvantage. Center trying to save it all out for his team, but not going to be happening this time. 2 survivors by the end of that one, and Gentlemates look unrelentless on this defensive side.
Yeah, still, for Vitality, not a bad round at all. Like, you invest one rifle into it, you didn't use any of the ultimates, they're now all online, and you're going to have yourself the rifles coming in for the next round. This sets them up at least to find a return to form. I am just getting a little bit nervous from them, though, because a lot of what Gentlemates are doing, again, they're taking risks, they're gambling on some individual fights, as you see, but a lot of it they're getting away with, and I'm waiting for the moment where Vitality are able to shut down some of those pushes.
That's very true. And once they do, Gentlemates might feel a little bit flustered. They're no strangers to that either.
I love the idea. I love the idea. It's so ratty from them just going up over the top of the wall. You can see an attempt being made by Safe to find a response. With the smoke fading, he has to fall back.
And Gentlemates, just like that, again, find mini advantages here and there. And even though Vitality have got everything to their disposal, they feel threatened. They feel hurt, limping their way towards this B site.
They're going to go through. They're going to go through the smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Safe is under some real trouble. There is absolutely no way he gets out of that. Perfect flash. Get rid of the lurker. That now makes this take onto the B site so much more difficult. And they've got no utility either.
Runner You're going to have to come up huge with the showstopper here. You're going to have to find a wonder triple kill of some sort to put Vitality back in. And Gentlemates know they don't really need to pressure this, but Bayas is pushed up quite far forwards. Not to be expected. Sender drops. Runner, retaliation, found, but kicks ain't kicking no more. Runner, what do you do with this? Blinded as well. Across being covered by 4 players. And he can't have a chance with that 20 seconds, but it's a countdown to his demise. Barely any health on him. Will try and go in for a bite, but his final mark will be seen by a blast pack to send him off. And Gentlemates collect themselves a 6th round.
I genuinely love watching this team. They have so many just risky but cool ideas. Like the initial wall over the top just to take a fight that nobody's going to be expecting. You smoke that off, you think it's almost an iron wall on the other side, and then to not only just sit there and go, okay, that's our aggression done for the round. No, there's another layer. They pop flash through, take out the lurker, and then it's just like they are boxed into the site. There's nothing else that Vitality can really look for. Again, they've now got 4 ults. One of them was used in the last round.
And they're still pushing. There's no freaking way. And this time Takas not really spotted. Not quite sure if that was the same from a tank, but still, they keep on winning these fights. I can't believe it. I just can't.
Yeah, I guess Kicks must have just not seen anything as they just walk down mid. That is, again, just a blip. But Vitality have got to feel infuriated. That's their entry. That's Runner gone for the entirety of the round. Nothing they can do about it. Showstopper out as well. And now you can see this is what Gentlemates do. They have that initial aggression, and then they just fall back. Maybe there'll be a re-aggress later in the round, but for now, they don't need to do anything.
Absolutely not. Logan does get walked onto. Uppercut. We'll put him to rest for now, but Takas, well, he'll be in trouble here. Not quite finding the comfort within that nade, but still drags one down with him. And Stave stuck around for Bayas, but the rotation has come through for Vitality. They head towards this B site, and Gentlemates' defenses have greatly been extinguished.
It's a little bit awkward. The trips are still there. There's one more just in an obscure position. Res has been used on the other side of the map, so it's actually going to be even for the retake. Whalers, though, he's trying to be a little bit cheeky, and that's exactly what he does.
No way, it works out. Catch a sender on the cross. And now there's a Viper's Pit available for Safe. Will he be using it? I don't think so. There's no real need. Actually, he goes in for it. Tries to find another angle. Maybe keep Gentlemates second-guessing themselves. Try and spray down upon them. Safe going around here. And the tank, though, I'm pretty sure he checks this. No, he doesn't. Walks right past him, shorty in hand, but Safe is right behind him, lurking like a shark, looking to move out from the depths of hell and drag them all down with them. Is there enough time? I'm not quite sure there is.
Yeah,
oh, there is! There's plenty of time, and Gentlemates will be securing themselves yet another round.
Man got 5 kills and still lost the round. That's got to be one of the most brutal things ever. He would have had to get a 6k to take that one. The bonus ace would have been needed for Safe to be able to get that. And it's, the thing is, it started with such a strong performance from the side of Mates, aggressive positioning, good clearing off utility, and then this man just went absolutely ham, but it wasn't quite enough to get things over the line. Vitality, they're going to take their second pause within this first half, but the fact that it came down to Safe needing to pull out a miracle kind of shows the spot that they're in.
I mean, we're starting to see individuals shoot back. We're starting to see some positives from Vitality, but again, even though
Safe.
Vitality gets something going in their favor. Yeah, they've got Safe. Benji Fishy said it. Don't 1v1 Safe. Don't do it.
Yeah, they didn't. They 1v3'd him.
They 1v3'd him. Still.
He still almost won. But let's ignore that.
But Gentlemates had an answer in the likes of Whalers this time, who, to be fair, hasn't had great performances this entire year. But and it's one of those moments that any other player, any other team, you see a player like that isolated going for 1vx in any situation while there are other players around to help, is ludicrous. It's insane. It's a play that shouldn't happen, but Whalers went for it and it paid off.
I think the reason I think they've switched up the comp and put him on the Sentinel is because I feel like he is that smart player. He's the guy who is going to play the odds in the right way. Like, a lot of the time, Logan is a risk guy. Like, he will win you rounds with a Sheriff you'll never see before. Mitch is having flashbacks as we speak. But the fact is, Whalers is the person that, again, safely uses his cam, gets the information, takes a 1v1 he knows he can win. And then it just works for the team playing off the odds.
And Vitality, their players, albeit being of some of the greatest caliber that we've seen in this league, haven't been quite showing up, apart from Safe. Okay, we said his name a few times. Got #1 Estonian on the server, yet to show his mark.
Don't you dare.
That is nuts. It's going to be checked by Vitality. It's at least traded. They expect Bayas to be there, but they drop back.
That's the thing. Again, that was more just conditioning. They've been placing that wall every single time so they can get themselves the orb. So this time they try and play on top of it, and they managed to take down Safe. Now, obviously, the trade is there. But at the loss of Safe, after one of the only times we've really seen a round look competitive. Vitality, though, it's a pace change and the showstopper gets nothing.
Again, it's a risk play from Logan to actually make it work. He just holds his ground and presses that mouse 1 button. Vitality got the plant for them. At least they've got that going for them. And the Trex null command does deter Gentlemates from using any utility on close proximity. Takas wanting to go in with a showstopper and avoided by Trex, keeping Vitality alive. Still a 3v3 though. And that's puts Gentlemates on the hot seat. Can now, not only do they have to get on the spike, but they have to deal with all the players hiding out. And Main still blinded, doesn't care. Into the smoke. Vitality are starting to lose players left and right. Gentlemates are winning their trades, and there's nothing Kicks can do about it.
They're just doing everything right. Again, the util coming through, the team play and the retake looks fantastic. The fact is that showstopper was dodged by a millimeter. It actually sent the TPs out the way in the last second. But again, it's just locking in some of these individual fights and being able to take them all over the line in the end. 8-1. Running away with things. After what was a matchup that they played 2 times already this year. The first time they had a dominant map, then they fell flat. We've seen it before as well, where they've been dominated, even in some of the games where they played against Vitality. But every single time they got better. Every single time they've improved. And honestly, unless Vitality have something left in the tank, this might be the first victory for Gentlemates in this matchup.
I thought you said in the tank there, so yeah, I thought you did a little bit of wordplay, but no, not the case. Ultra aggro from Runner doesn't pay dividends because, quite simply, he's not a Gentlemates player. Because only those things work for Gentlemates players. It's gotten a bit under control. Well, not really. No one's got control over this one. Perhaps Safe Hat does? No, not really. Gentlemates, they took a bit of damage that round, but it's still theirs.
Yeah, there were moments where that looked possible. But again, it's only been that round number 4, that round off pistols. That's it. It's a Sheriff round. That's the only round that Vitality have managed to win in this one. You can understand in this round why there's some aggression. It literally is the Battle Sage. It's something I don't feel like has truly come back for a long, long time. Like, people would talk about it. Okay, maybe you could say Cracks did it when he brought it in,
sure.
CNED a little bit. Other than Foot. No one has been running a Battle Sage. The tank is a Battle Sage. He is a duelist that just happens to have a heal.
Not a very good heal if you're healing yourself, but...
He's not just your healer.
No. That's the advert. Should be a next line of the Nano Tank song. But let's see how this one works out. Wow, very safe here. When works out, he's been sent on a mission, a solo mission, and comes out on top.
I can only assume that the tank thought that Logan had that cross covered, because the fact that they were so far forward already, definitely a little bit deadly. Oh, he manages to shoot it, but it's a good pick-off. Runner very quick on his feet, and it leaves just one man actually defending the site at the moment.
Honestly, if he got a pick off of the kill on Thrash, I would have been bowing down to our new king. It would have been nuts. But Vitality have some room to work with here. They've got numbers advantage. Dagger spotting out 3 players doesn't prompt a rotate here from Vitality. They're actually sticking to their guns, and Gentlemates know of it. They've got this whole thing red. Flash is superb. Can they find an answer to it? Thrash in retaliation. Vitality, this is a chance, but Takas has come into the mix. He looks to spice things up, but it's still a 1v3, and an operator isn't the right gun for the situation.
No, at the same time, financially, not in a bad spot. He can actually opt to try and risk this one. Try and go back in for something. He might not have the opt for the next round, but I don't think he'll mind.
Is he going to pick up a Vandal and go for the 1v3? Or is he going to go all the way around? He's got a knife out, though, when Shrek is going to look at him. That timing! Imagine if he had his operator out. That could have been a collateral, and this would have been an entirely different world.
Finally, we see a resurgence for Vitality. again, good openers. I like that this time Safe almost just takes the initiative.
Yeah.
Gets aggressive. I do think that there was expectations that Logan had that cross. I think that might just be slightly miscommed or just not catching him as he goes past, but that actually leads Natang going to his death, and he's been the main problem that they've had outside this A site. I think he might just go back to the standard of just walling something off at the beginning.
Is this the round, the catalyst, if you will, for Vitality? Can it all be the round that they needed, really? Draw it all back, find the confidence, but they are going to move quite quickly into this one, but there's already a strong defensive setup here from Gentlemates. Seems like Vitality have no respect for it. Runner instantly in. Hasn't found an opener. Whalers just spraying down. Toxic Stream goes out, but the flash is superb. Not quite enough to keep the Gentlemates defenders alive. But Runner has gone berserk, found 2 kills for himself, and Vitality heavily in the lead this round.
Enemy remaining.
It looks like it's done.
Yeah.
It looks like the 9-3 will be happening unless the tank has a wall that we've never seen before. A single kill will grant him a res. There is the kill. That's something at least. That will bring back theirs from the fray.
Hold your horses, everybody. This round's not over. Although the spike is ticking quite frantically. They've got to get on it quite quickly. A wall perhaps. Marsh, yeah, that's the denial. That's it. That's the end of that. But hey, wait. No way. No! Bloody way! Bias doubles up. There might be an opportunity here. Runner's going to have to push past it! And Gentlemates make the impossible possible!
End it there. End it there. I can't believe it. There was literally just enough time for him to put that wall down and defuse. If he hesitates, what was it, 0.29 of a second? They lose that round. I literally cannot believe that we've seen this much impact of someone peeking in a round that was over, and then Bayaz just the bodyguard. Like, you are not getting past him.
Look at that smile from existence. Sorry, I need a second. I need to breathe. I need to sit. This is not reality.
I want a friend like Bayaz, you know? Someone who can defend me, make me feel safe.
Oh. Well, we all do need a friend like that. But here, Vitality trying to find something work out in the pistol. Yeah, we're all still overwhelmed from the previous one. Imagine how the Vitality players are feeling right now. That was stolen away from them. Cold-blooded murder.
Oh yeah, that's got to be like one of the biggest throw rounds I've ever seen.
He used both their timeouts, right?
Yeah, that only happens because Drex dies, but I can't even blame him. Like, why would you expect them to be able to win with that much time left? A 3v3. The site of A is completely open. Like, there is nobody here. Even though there's aggression coming in, they may just opt to try and group up and play this one as a retake. I don't think it's worth the gamble for Sender to try and play this one, especially, bear in mind, he's got the paranoia. So he has the perfect piece of utility to try and get them back in. The thing is, though, if this is cleared quickly enough, they can get him, place that wall down, and just make things awkward. And as said, I feel like that's what Gentlemates are excellent as. It's just making a lot of the retakes, or a lot of the takes in the first place, awkward for the side of Vitality.
I guess Vitality spent the last few seconds taking a few breaths in. Might as well take any chance you get, because Gentlemates don't give them many of those. It's all down to timing on this exchange, which Sender does win. But again, it's Natang in a weird angle.
You'd see the wall and maybe guess that he's up here, but I'm not so sure. Paranoia's not even going to hit him. They're looking to break the wall. He peeks up, takes Runner for free.
On the wing! Bow down to your king! It's insane. It's Whalers with the triple. It's Gentlemates on 11, 2 away from closing out this series.
Whalers having a great time. 13-4 at the moment. Just, again, peak. The thing is the synergy of the risk. Like, you see the tank go over the top, and his teammate is with him all of the way. They have a spot. They have a little bit of a gap in the wall, which was actually created by Vitality, and he's just so ready to try and play off the back of it. At this point, Gentlemates are so high on life that they aren't losing this game. I just cannot see it happening. They're winning every single clutch, even the impossible ones. And for the side of Vitality, they have to gamble here. They're having to throw everything into this round just to try and have some form of semblance of competitiveness. It's depressing.
It's depressing. It's heart-squashing. If that's even a term, Vitality, though, they've had to dig deep into their pockets to try and find anything out of this. But of course, it's Tank to open up this round safe. Sheriff in hand, walled up, denied any opportunity to do anything, Kicks. You've got to come alive here, but Takas is just too damn clean, too damn accurate. Snaps on his head. It's the only thing we've been hearing, snapping sounds. It's been Vitality's heads, skulls being cracked wide open. What truly can you do? Close up the distance. You've got this thing as wall is being troubling to deal with. Safe, only good for the one as Takas looks to clean up with a ghost. Send up. You sent your team into death, and now you'll have to follow them. All right, let's make it a bit comedic for Gentlemates, a little bit. They can't win that cleanly, but yeah, they are on map and series
decided
point.
to help them out. He's like, guys, I'm playing so well, I'm just going to name myself to end the round. He was 1 HP, to be fair to him. Like, I don't think it was... I hope it wasn't as close as you might think it was, but he's had a great round anyway. He also chucked off the rifle as well. Did it bounce back and he ran into it? Yeah, he did.
Ooh, yeah. There was one shell over the wall that caused his demise, but they're laughing about it. Why wouldn't they?
Of course they are.
Of course they are. Vitality have only gotten 7 rounds this entire series.
Unexpected, to say the least. I didn't expect anything of the sort. Runner looking to try and put the pressure on, but they're very quickly out of there. Look at the buy. This is what is left to try and save Vitality. It's something that revolves around SMGs. No, I would say primary rifles either. But they do have safe. They still have safe.
Might be the only thing they have. Whoa. The rifle reach still seems favorable for the Gentlemates side. But anything that Vitality do, they need to second guess it, triple guess it. Very deep positioning here from Takas in mid, while the rest of the cavalry moving in towards this right-hand side. Safe's holding out. Only defender towards this A site. I mean, who else do you want? But honestly, if it's up against 3, even the greatest will struggle. Flash out indicating presence. Save has to drop back, respect it. Trex, good read onto Takas' positioning mid. Vitality have softened it out.
30 seconds left.
An opportunity. Safe again. He's just trying to buy time. 25 seconds left on the clock for them to try and make their move. He's going to drop the spike as well. There's a trade. Still a chance for a clutch. And it would be the most Gentlemates way to close it ever.
Again, Tom, do you reckon? Logan on the plant. Bayaz on the swing, but it's Vitality to finally get a win.
It's not been their day.
This is not a mountain to climb, Tom. This is...
No, you're climbing a volcano. Even if you get to the top, you're going to get burnt. Like that I don't see how they can possibly get back into this game, especially with the way that their opponents have been playing, even just on an individual level. Like someone like Whalers or Takas or Bayaz or the Tank or Logan will clutch out one of these rounds. Screw it, if it goes far enough, maybe Existence will jump up on the stage and clutch one.
We've seen everything today, Tom. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. But yes, Gentlemates in the stratosphere.
Get my way.
Merci. Oh, 1 sec. I will deal with him. And yeah, I'm sure he would. Buy round on both teams. Vitality, they've been able to hold on for a little bit. For how long can they do so though? Sender flashed off, but mid kept wide open for Gentlemates to move into.
Yeah, that flash was thrown in basically just as a ruse. It's forced them back initially and allowed them to claim space elsewhere. The rotation won't be anywhere near as quick as normal.
Runner there to try and stop up this onslaught. So far good for it, and it's clutched up from Trex. Good pincer movement. And for that, Gentlemates will have to wait to close out this game.
Tripwire destroyed.
Now Whalers has some space.
Come on, are we really believing again?
I like the fact that we're seeing Vitality basically just not overface this, not overdo it. Like they know that at any moment one of these players can just take over a round. So now that they have such a huge advantage, just don't give them those fights.
Logan trying to find an alternative angle to this. They know the approach has come mainly from mid, and that's where Whalers has shown his presence earlier, and now has done so again. Not quite going to use the cage just for it. One-sided smoke, yeah, that's going to complicate everything. And with 30 seconds, even if you do pick up the spike, you've got to go for the plants.
30 seconds
left. This is not going anywhere. But good stuff from Vitality, though. Reacting good on the fly, getting a good crunch into mid, stopping Gentlemates, getting the right read. I think that's a big aspect to it, because I feel like Gentlemates have been keeping Vitality blind the entire game. It felt like Vitality are trying to read an invisible book.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I think also just what they've been very good at is with sort of utility. A lot of the time you can't do a lot with. They've been very good at doing a lot with it. Like, again, just like a Sage Wall. The amount of times they've been caught by something silly off the back of a Sage Wall, that it must just be infuriating. In the end, Logan's going to get to keep his gun, but there shouldn't be much more behind it. Maybe a few sheriffs here and there. They still have the res on the tank as well, so maybe they can put something into play this round. I think the only other real danger will be the showstopper. If that gets close, maybe there's a chance that Mates can steal this one.
That's fair. I mean, given that Logan has also won away from the shadows, we might even see some crazy luck. I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen everything. We've seen everything. Gentlemates, though, looks like with their setup, they're having their eyes onto this A side, which Vitality have heavily occupied this time around.
It's a common point of contention, especially early in the round, and just sending Runner. He's got a showstopper as well if they really wanted to try and put them in the dirt. It's going to be a triple peek, and actually they've caught Logan. That is the one rifle. I think it's going to be retrieved, though, yeah. Takas will be able to get that without too many problems.
Logan was dubious in intention there. That won't work out for him, though. Takas will have to give it a go with his Vandal. Not to say that the Sheriffs don't hit hard from Gentlemates. You've got to respect it. The safe is front line on defense here on B.
Poison's off.
And Gentlemates running out the clock.
Not anymore.
That's very true.
Yeah, the information garnered. You can see players already in position 3, in fact, as they look to actually aggress off their own utility. This looks like it's going to be an absolute bloodbath, just leaving the tank. And now Beaz, I don't think he's clutching this one out. The streak of rounds continues for Vitality again, though. It's the weaker weaponry. Now is where we'll actually see the buy.
I mean, it's rounds like those that when Gentlemates won, they left no survivors. Vitality, though, not really having the same success. You know, they lose a couple players here and there. It's always, the economy is always kept in check, right? Not really allowing Gentlemates, not really allowing Vitality, rather, from gaining momentum here.
I will say, when you're 12-5 down, as long as you can buy it, doesn't matter.
I don't know. That's very true. That's very true.
They have enough credits to buy every round until they lose. I think that's what we're looking at the moment. Unless all 5 players die like 2 rounds in a row, I don't think that's going to be Vitality's biggest problem. And actually, they are going to get another pause now, because Gentlemates are going to take one instead. I think it's a good time. Like, the ults are pretty much all building up. Like, I don't mind if Gentlemates even just, like, stack them so they have all 5 and then just go, okay, all we need to do is take this one round. The only thing is it's the same for Vitality. You got 2 ults that are just 1 away, 2 away, and then you have yourself the showstopper already available. So it's not a bad position for both sides to be in. Again, though, you just still have to look at the amount that needs to be done. This would have to be a 10-round streak, the same as what we got in the last map for Gentlemates.
Yeah, and there are many types of timeouts also that coaches bring out, whether that's kind of for tempo swing, but I feel like this is Existence laying the lay of the lands, right, for his team. They've got a lot for them this round. He's just making sure that Gentlemates have got the right plan of action to just close it out right here, right now.
Yeah, I think as well, when you win that first half in the manner in which you did, where it was basically just from strength to strength and pretty much no rounds you could lose, I think when it starts to come back, even at the early stages, when you have 2 pauses, use one of them.
Hyper-aggressive from Runner here, trying to disrupt anything that Gentlemates have got going for them right on time. As soon as the dagger falls up, Runner reacts. And that's the early pick and damage onto Beaz.
Oh, it's Takas as well. He almost wiped out 3 players. That would have been an absurd way to kick off the round, but even still, he's done so much.
But Vitality take long to back away, which gives moment for Gentlemates to enter into this B side.
What is he? The man is used from the shadows to go into their spawn. I love that they've had. This is like the most matchmaking strat I've ever seen. Like, use the distraction, the disparity.
You can see Vitality are going for a check, going to look out what the hell is going on, but Logan has found the right timing to change the tide of this round. How the tables turn. And safe on site, in trouble as well. Gentlemates, no way this is a round that they are able to win it off of losing early players, early damage. Takas, he knows exactly where Vitality are. They've got the spike planted, they've got numbers advantage. Vitality kicks and Sender holding hands on this one, hoping they can make it through to live and fight another day. Whale is dropped. And that makes things a little simpler, but they've got to move outside of a smoke, and they don't really have a flash to do it. They're going to have to go for a try peek, and Logan puts them to rest. Gentlemates, a 2-0 that no one thought possible, keeps their hopes for playoffs alive.
Honestly, we've always had nightmares, or many people have, when it comes to Logan. You think about his Killjoy, you think about his Cypher, mainly Sentinels.
Yeah.
People are going to have nightmares about his Omen tonight. They TP'd into the sport to close it out, but it was a team performance today. From bottom to the top in terms of kills, just 5 difference from the entirety of the team. And that's the thing with this Gentlemate squads. When they're on the same page, when they're running it down, when they're working together, when they're trading effectively, and when they have the right plan, they could beat anyone.
Got to add something to that, and when they're feeling it. And let's be fair, today they were feeling it.
Yeah, I think the tank Sage as well, like just allow that man to go for some trickery no matter the agent. It's just a little bit fun. I think he's having a great time.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. What a tremendous performance from Gentlemates today. Not only did they show up, but they made Vitality leave. Right there, souls and hearts went in this one. Gentlemates, well, they fought really hard for this, and they definitely deserved it. They are your victors of match number 2 of the day with a 2-0 victory against Vitality.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Nice! Let's go!
Well, Gentlemates, they have finally gotten their revenge against Team Vitality. And what a way to do it. Welcome to Postplant. By the way, we will be joined by Whalers in just a moment from Gentlemates. But for now, I've got Mitchie. I saw Natang dancing on stage there. Do you reckon he was dancing to Natang on the wall?
It could be. I saw him dancing on the wall quite a bit as well, in and out of angles. And my God, it's been a while. I heard Tom say it on the cast as well. The Battle Sage, it's back, baby. And Natang made it look like it was 2021 all over again. This guy was unbelievable. And I said going in, stats leader in many ways. He might be competing with Wood again after that, even with the smaller sample size.
I bet you he feels like nice to be off the Phoenix studio for a little bit, you know, because I felt like that he just had to like get the orb all the time, flash all the time, ulti to go in all the time. Yeah. But who knows? You can just stand on a wall and do all of that.
I mean, this is it. We're going to have Whalers later, and I want to ask him about this because it's a weird philosophy. You look at this guy on a duelist, you go, he's pretty good, but let's change it up. Let's put him on a better duelist, on the Sage, where, I mean, even that wall to win out the pistol round, to have bought the wall, to be in the right position. Oh my God, the guy is just unbelievable.
Well, he ward, and then he got himself onto another wall, which wasn't his wall, and then won the round as well. I just feel like maybe the Battle Sage meta, we should bring it back.
Well, it was the buy round, right, where he gets the kill, gets his res online, reses a teammate, goes back out, 2v3, still looks unwinnable. Wall, perfect positioning. They almost break it, but then I think it was Bayaz swinging in to kill them all as they try to stop the defuse. That was like a movie scene playing out. Just perfection and perfect Valorant.
Oh, honestly, hearing the Gentlemates fan go wild as well when that moment happened was so nice. But the problem is, where does this leave Vitality? Do you reckon this is going to be rough now for them to even make playoffs, given everyone else in their group is basically winning their games?
Well, this is what we touched on in the previous series, right? Like, this is a stacked alpha group, and for Vitality, making it, pushing it through, it's going to be really tough without that win under their belt. They have, I believe they're the team that has 2 matches this week, right?
Yeah, they got Giants.
So Giants up next. Is it Koi after that? Yeah. So, like, that's somewhere they could take those 2 wins, but now they're in a similar position to where Liquid are, where the win or the process to get to playoffs is sort of in the hands of other teams. They have to rely on other results not going their way and on winning both of their games. That's the one leg up they have on Liquid. Liquid only have 1 game left. They have 2 chances to take a step forward.
But this is the other thing, though. They got 2-0'd because I feel like we have teams here that even when they lose 2-1, they can grab a map. Maybe you'll get yourselves into like a 3-way tiebreaker, and then the map might kind of send you through based off of the tiebreaker rules. So I'm a little bit worried for them. I'm a bit scared for them.
Yeah, I would be pretty terrified if I was in their boots. I think, especially with some of the other matches that teams in their group have coming up that look to be kind of the easier ones of their season, the chances of them making it through now, very low. And also, you have to think about the potential then for ties to come through. So it's not just about getting those wins in terms of series on the board. It's about getting your 2-0s, dominant victories in those matches. So if it comes down to something like round difference, you will at least have an opportunity to push it. And this 2-0 definitely doesn't help them out in that that regard.
I will say that you've suffered in the hands of Logan. You know, you've been on the receiving end of what he can do. How are you feeling about his performances right now?
The guy's unbelievable. I mean, it is strange as well, like I say, to see this guy not on a Sentinel and still deliver that level of performance, but he's just next to untouchable.
Yeah,
hello, Whalers.
and speaking
welcome,
of
welcome.
unbelievable, Whalers, welcome. I've been waiting a long time to have you here with us. Welcome. Congratulations for today. Before we ask you a lot of questions, are you aware of a chant that involves your name, which we're trying to like push into everyone's brains right now? Like a fan chant.
A fan chant? What do you mean?
With your name. I made one up, and I'm trying to.
I didn't hear about it.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay because I feel like everyone in the studio hate me because whenever you're on the screen, I just go Whalers, 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 just like over and over again. And I did that a lot today. You really popped off.
Thank you. Yeah, but I mean, it's been rough for us because we worked really hard, and I don't know, we couldn't like show like how we walk out on the stage, so it was very frustrating. But I think today we just came and showed up a new face. And we just played like we were supposed to play, and yeah, it worked for us.
I think today was a real statement because you faced Vitality. I feel like they're the team you keep facing. This is the third time you've gone up against them. Do you feel like all of the experiences you had going up against them before maybe helped you to get the reads and not be so afraid of them this time around?
Not really. I think just like against Fnatic and Casey, we just didn't play like ourselves, and it cost us because they're really good like individually. So yeah, there was just a no match, and that was so frustrating for us. So yeah, today we just showed up a new face.
I have to ask, man, like coming into this series for Vitality, do you think that they're a team that delivered their highest level here today and you guys were able to defy that anyways? Or do you think they played a little bit below their level? Like Icebox, for example, coming in, their attack side was really tough. Do you view that as something you guys did extremely well or something they did poorly?
I think like we came with a new like comp.
Yeah.
And I think it maybe, I don't know, they couldn't play like they were supposed to, and yeah, it worked for us. So
this idea of bringing in the new comp as well, is this something that's coming from existence? Is it a team effort? How did this come about?
Yeah, it's come from existence.
Of course. He was smiling so much today. I'm glad you mentioned the comp because let's talk about it a little bit more because everyone else in this region, except for you guys, play the Gecko. You were the last team. It kind of felt like you didn't want to or maybe didn't suit you. So why do you think it took so long? And do you think maybe the Gecko is helping you getting some wins here?
Yeah, obviously it helped a bit, but like I think we can play without it anyway. So yeah, we just didn't play like ourselves. So I think we can play in the agents. That's not a problem. But yeah, obviously like when you play when you have like an initiator like Gecko or Fade, it helps a lot. So yeah, we are. I don't know. I think it just like make VALORANT easier if you use
Life
Gecko.
on easy mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Life on easy mode. So why did you guys wait so long for this Gecko and why today to bring it out?
Because we believed in a comp and it was working pretty good in prax. So yeah, unfortunately not on stage, but yeah, it just helped us. So we just took it.
And what are your views, Mitch, on the Gecko? What did you think?
But the Gecko in general, I agree with you. I think it just makes life a lot easier. That flash right now for info, when you throw up the Dizzy, you're knowing exactly where players are, how many of them there are, these sort of things. It's a really useful agent. I'm curious for you guys, watching you with some of these pop-off plays, the energy went super high. And what we see, like you guys were screaming, you're getting up, you're very animated. And we see a lot of coaches and a lot of teams call for pauses when those things happen to calm the team down. But you guys didn't seem to do that. Do you play well with this energy?
Yeah, I mean that's why that was like actually a problem because we are really we are a hype team. So if we are just not hyping each other, it just fell off. And even like I don't know, like Nathan was clutching last game and no one was screaming for him. So we just like change everything and say, yeah, let's be ourselves.
I mean, talking about Natank as well, these walls, how much time was spent on the ideas for Sunset? You guys were so aggressive. Well, walls inside of mid, fighting on top of them. I mean, there were some cool ideas where like a couple of times you'll wall a position and then 3 rounds later, someone's on top of the wall to surprise them. And these things are cool, some conditioning, but I've never seen a team, or at least not recently, have so many ideas of how to use a wall so aggressively. Is this something you spent a lot of time on, or is this something the Tank spent a lot of time on himself?
I don't know if I can say.
Of course, if you can't say that, that's okay also.
We just found that one.
So I will give you an easier way to answer that. Is it Natank that wants to be on the wall? Is it existence that's like, hey, you'll get on the wall? Stand on the wall.
I will just not say anything.
Oh, so bad. Okay, when the year is over, we can talk about this when the year is over,
problem.
maybe. I also want to talk about your role as well. Obviously, Logan, you have your teammate, one of the most experienced Sentinel player, I think, in the world at this point. He was spamming Killjoy Cypher over and over again his whole career. So I think for the rest of us, it felt weird that you and him switched agents. What was the reason for that, and how comfortable are you on the Cypher?
It's mainly because I feel like the Sentinel play way different than last year, and it was more suiting for me on depend on the map, obviously, and yeah, it just working now. So.
You like it?
Yeah, obviously I like it.
Yeah, you're enjoying it. There was some cheeky little Cypher camera stuff you were doing as well. Actually, speaking of that, in terms of you coming into the role, I know compared to everyone else in this league, you know, you didn't immediately switch at the beta. It wasn't like you were grinding all the way through those years. I know in 2021, 2022, you kind of came in a little bit, competed a couple times, but it wasn't until 2023 that you really committed to switching. So do you at any point feel like there is catching up for you? Do you ever feel like maybe it's harder for you because you haven't been playing as long?
Yeah, it was harder for me because of the keyboard and mouse, obviously. So yeah,
Wait, so when was the first time you used keyboard and mouse for this game?
I mean, I played CS:GO, but you know that was just on my extra time when I was when I was pro back in the days on COD. But yeah, I think the mainly thing was like to step up on the keyboard and mouse. That was the hardest thing because I think on the macro I was alright, but not on mechanically I was terrible.
So did you have to train a lot for that? Like spend more time using?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Because I think it was way easier to switch for Logan, for example, because he came from CS than me. So yeah, I'm working hard. I'm still working hard, and yeah, hopefully, like I will be at my prime in a couple months, maybe next year. I don't know.
I think you were looking great out there today.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was gonna say. You know, you're saying you guys are trying to work it out. It looks like you've got a lot of it figured out already, not just on the server, but mechanically you guys are popping off. And actually on that point, so you guys started out, you beat BBL, but you've lost to KC and Fnatic, arguably two of the best teams in the region. I wanted to ask you guys, coming through the tier 2 scene, right, because all these other teams, they've been locked into, they can scrim anyone, but they're playing officials against only the other franchise teams that are often unproven, rosters that are put together by coaches and get the slot. Do you think that the experience of going through that tier 2 system, going through Ascension, playing all of these different teams, helps you guys, gives you a leg up in terms of adapting to things on the server versus our other teams here in franchise?
I don't think so, because I think the tier 1 team actually play way better than the tier 2 team right now.
Okay.
And I think there's like a couple teams who actually play good in tier 2, but right now there is a gap, I would say. And yeah, we were struggling a lot against tier 1 team, but now we just keep evolving, and hopefully like we just like be the best team at the end of the year. But yeah.
So it's almost the opposite, if I'm reading you correctly, then, that coming from that system is almost a disadvantage for you guys, having not played against top teams consistently, right?
Obviously, because like they have the advantage of the experience, like of the stage, everything. So yeah, obviously it's an advantage.
Have you felt the stage has a big impact on any of you, or on you in particular?
Not really me, but on the team in general, because I'm very calm, so it's all right. But yeah, on the team, so that's why we just switch and change everything.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't believe you're saying you're not at your aiming kind of prime yet with mouse and keyboard, because when you reach that, holy moly, you've been diffing some players that's been playing with the mouse and keyboard for years. Yeah,
but I think the most hard thing is like to be consistent with mouse and keyboard, and that's what I'm reaching for.
I can't wait to see it, Whalers. Speaking of consistency, you guys have now shaken up the groups a little bit, because I don't think a lot of people expected you to come out of this 2-0. And if we take a look at the standings here, obviously on the left, the Alpha group, at this point, I don't know who's going to playoffs. I feel like anybody can still go. And your group, again, is starting to get really competitive. So what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the road to playoff gonna be hard. And yeah, I can't wait to see like the last matches of the season.
I feel like anything can happen.
Yeah, everything can happen. Yeah. That's why.
And obviously, you guys are only playing against the group on the left, and of those, I said you beat BBL, but you lost to KC and Fnatic, who are currently fighting for that top spot.
So you got Liquid left, right? Is that it?
Yeah, Liquid next week, and as well as that, is almost a rematch of the Ascension Finals. Three of those players will be really cool. But I'm curious to hear your perspective, because it's hard for us to estimate where you guys are. are in the tiers within EMEA. And I'm curious for you, do you guys view yourself as the number one, the number like top 4, top 3? Like where would you put your team right now in its today's form?
Today's form, I don't know. It's hard to say because, like I said, we just keep stepping up over and over, and I can't really like put ourselves in the like third place or second place or first place. Like we just can be everywhere. It's just gonna depend of the way we're evolving during the season. And I think right now it's good matches to just step up our level and actually now show real things.
Is there any team that you think if we beat them, then we're in good form, or is it all just take it 1 week at a time?
No, it's just gonna be match per match, and
okay.
Yeah.
Top 11.
Top 11.
Top 11.
For sure.
At least 11. Yeah. Wailers, this is the first time we've had you here on Post Plan. So we do this tradition where we ask our guest to leave a question. Actually, before that, we actually have a question for you. I believe we have that, right? We had a Safe here on Post Plan last week, and he left a question for you.
Okay.
So let's roll the question from Safe.
Would you like to take a photo with me?
Would you like to take a photo with
yeah,
Safe?
after the win, yeah, obviously.
Oh my god, I bet Safe didn't expect that Wailers was going to be answering that question. So, production, let's make it happen. I want to get Wailers and Safe together for a photo.
Safe, if you're still in the building.
Yep,
You know where this is. Come on.
Please come by. Now, it's your turn because tomorrow, Na'Vi will be taking on BBL, and we will have a player from the winning team here in the studio with us. Obviously, it could be a player on BBL, could be a player on Na'Vi. Would you like to leave a question for whoever it might be as well? It could be any question on this camera. Yeah.
Actually, I have no question.
It could be anything. We've had like, what would
What's
you
your
like to
favorite
eat?
color?
What's your favorite? Anything like that, yeah. Maybe ask them what keyboard they use, something like that. What
Okay,
mouse they use.
which keyboard are you using?
Ooh, okay. We're getting recommendations.
Okay, hold on. I have a better question. What is your aim routine?
Oh, that's nice.
I like that a lot. What is your aim routine?
I'm trying to find myself right now, but I'm doing aim labs, range, deathmatch.
You got a playlist? We can hop on your playlist, maybe?
I have no playlist, no.
Oh damn it! I wanted to see how bad I was gonna be. I wanted to boost your ego a little, just be like, I am terrible at this. But Wailers, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win again. Thank you, Mitch. Gentlemate's lucky charm. I feel like when you're here, they win.
Yeah.
And of course,
Every matches.
he's gonna be here every game now. Thank you to everyone else, the casters, Kaquka, all of you guys at home for watching. We're going to be back with more Valorant tomorrow, starting with Fnatic versus Foot. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you then.
Hard week. 2, 1, let's do it!
Who's next?